Alright, sorry about that wait. I ate some Cheez-Its and I made a Hot Pocket, now I'm waiting for it to cool off. And the book continues, goes, however, the first line of human ambassadors were taught otherwise, that a lick is no different than a romantic kiss. All the ambassadors were taught this until the correction was added to the classroom in 2808. To this day, it is common issue for ambassadors trained before then. Dad was trained in the 90s. He must have thought Rook was being romantic with him earlier. Do you think that's causing many problems right now, do you? Afnasi just shrugs. And it cuts to Balthazar and Rick. And Rick's going, so this was all just a cultural misunderstanding, and we thought the other was being romantic. Yep. And I had genders confused, and I'm actually male. Balthazar shrugs. Well, that's your choice. What? None of this makes any sense. And it goes to that same like shot of the house and sky, and the night sky turns into day. And then it cuts to it's supposed to be a pan with bacon in it. Alright, don't judge. And Balthazar's the one cooking, and you can see Afanasi push Adelheid into the kitchen in the background. And Adele tries to escape, but Afanasi pushes her back into the kitchen, and Adele whispers like, I changed my mind. And Balthazar notices, and he goes, oh, hi, Aaron, what's up? Adele leans against the wall, and she attempts to act cool, and she goes, pfft, males. And Balthazar goes, I'm more of a ladies' man myself, but guys are cool too. And Adelheid looks down. Balthazar goes, Aaron, are you okay? Did someone hurt you? Dad, no one hurt me. What if I didn't want to be a boy? Then you don't have to be one. What if, I wanted to be a girl? And Balthazar starts walking towards her and picks her up and goes, I tell you I love you and that you're a wonderful daughter. Dad, the bacon's burning. Bacon's supposed to burn, otherwise it's lame. So, you want me to use feminine pronouns with you? I guess. And, I'm sorry to ask a big change, but could I use a different name? And, they're still talking off screen, but the camera changes to the watch on the table and it bumps. Sure, what do you want to go by? I've always felt like my name was Adelheid. Is that too weird? Not at all, Adelheid. Adelheid Sandry. And in the watch, Spears' purple mask while the unworthy light is lit. It's supposed to be spews, not spurs. I don't know why I put spurs. And Ruin goes, sorry to interrupt your heartwarming moment, Miss Adelheid, but now that you've adopted your actual name, your contract with this is complete. The evil spirit. Evil. You wanted to talk about evil? Look behind you, child. Your father is sending 2 Xylets back to a planet that went so barren we had no choice but to invade Earth. He sentenced 2 entirely innocent little Xylets to starve to death in a lonely void with little oxygen. But Eve... Well, what? Oh, sorry. I'd see everything, Sandry. I know what you did with my child. What a horrible monster you are, to beguile him into liking you. Child? And Afanasi off-screen goes, to Jayapata. That's the guy's name, I'm sorry. Oh, if it isn't Afanasi, my little slave. Do me a favor and throw Balthazar and his tainted child outside. It'll be a little easier to destroy them outside, along with that evil watch. This man plans to send you to your death. Or, wait. Yeah, okay. This man plans to send you to your death. And Balthazar off-screen is going, Afanasi, look, Apata nearly killed Rook. Apata did kill 2 grandchildren. For no service. Adelheid is innocent. But her father plans to kill you. If you obey me, I'll distract the police so you and my son can run and live here like we all planned to do until these humans wiped us out. Apata tricks me. Apata can't save us because Apata is a good... And then Ruin reaches over the camera and throws Afanasi outside. Off screen, the door opens automatically for him. And Adele's like, Afanasi! Okay. Adele's like, Afanasi. And Rurik suddenly jumps on the screen. And he's going for Ruin. He has this red magic in his hands. And he's leaping at Ruin. But then he goes straight through Ruin and accidentally shocks Balthazar instead. And Balthazar falls, and Rick falls with him, and Rick calls out to him like, Balthazar, nice, son, you killed him for me. He's not, I didn't mean to. And then Ruin starts to advance towards Adele, and he's kind of doing it slow. And he goes, now to take you out of my way. And Adele turns and runs, and she goes outside, but then she's blocked by this huge wall that Ruin puts up. And then behind her, Ruin begins to build another wall, and he's dragging Balthazar out with him. Why, Adele, I really have to thank you. I thought I was going to be stuck in that thing forever, but thanks to you, I only had to be dead for less than a Xylat's day. What striking coincidence that the watch saw me as a balance for releasing you. Now I can finish what I started. And claim this miserable rock. It pushes Balthazar, and Balthazar's possessed, and Ruin says, so this should keep you busy, the walls are poisonous, and yes, your father's still in here, and he's very scared. Ciao. And he faces through the wall, and Balthazar starts sprinting at the camera. Adele goes, ah! And she glows pink and morphs into her other form, and she's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. And without changing camera, Balthazar jumps off screen, swings at Adele, who jumps out of the way. And then when she lands very close to the poison wall. She appears to have issues balancing, and then Balthazar pulls back his fist and swings at her. Adele ducks off screen and then sprints away. And she turns around when she's a little ways away, and she goes, come on, I need something dangerous, while she's kind of like fiddling with her hands. And Balthazar slowly turns his head from looking away at the wall, and he goes, Adele, hide. Adele makes a rose by accident when she's startled, and she's like, ah! And she throws it out of desperation, but the rose poofs and doesn't even reach him. And the petals fall around while Balthazar is still kind of chanting, going, Adele, hide. She's like, wait a minute. And one of the petals phases through Balthazar's shoulder. And her memories play back of Rurik phasing through Ruin and shocking Balthazar. And then she also thinks about how her Ruin didn't touch her when he was chasing her. He goes, because he's a ghost. The fake Balthazar is continuously swinging at Adele, but missing each time. Adele doesn't even move. So that means this is just a hallucination, and the real dad is probably hallucinating me. And then a figure comes through the wall, important that the eyes are a different shade of purple than the hallucinations. But it's Afnasi with Balthazar slung over his shoulder. And Balthazar, weakly in pain, goes, don't worry, we are real. Afnasi's hand comes into range and he uses black magic. The black magic dissolves Ruin's fake Balthazar. Fake Balthazar hisses a fizzing noise, and Adele goes, all hallucinations say that. A fair point, but you can hit me and it'll work. Balthazar punched me and break his hand. I thought he was one of the guy's monsters. Didn't even flinch. Where's Rurik? We don't know. He shocked me and revived me and left. Today, but always mean to Rurik. Maybe torture. The camera goes to Ruin and Rurik. Okay, so it's based kind of on your genitals at birth, but they're actually completely separate. Well, most of the time it lines up, and a lot of the words in our language change based on it, so they kind of have to make a guess. That's stupid. Wow, this is something I can actually help with. Adele makes a rose, the petals from the previous one begin to circle her, and then she boasts the word rose outward. Ruin and Rurik look back, and a few petals float past the wall. Adele's looking through the parent portal and points. He's that way. And Afnasi puts Balthazar down. Wait here. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, and this, he's gonna start summoning magic, and there's a lot of movement involved with this. It's this, and leans to the left, feet together, feet apart, lean to the right, feet together, feet apart, and then he begins swooping down, and it focuses on the hands, which are rising up above, up to his chest, and then it's like this, and then it cuts back to Ruin and Rurik, where curiously looking at the wall, which is beginning to melt to Afnasi's magic, and then there's just like a beam goes through, and it goes through Apata, sorry. It goes through Apata, who looks like he could care less, or Rurik, or Ruin, Apata, oh god, I got the names wrong like 3 times. And they look through the hole, and you know, it's Adele had Afnasi and Balthazar, who's laying down, but otherwise fine. And Adele has a glowing pink object forming in her hands, and it makes into a bow and arrow, and she goes, now this is something dangerous, 20 out of 10. And she shoots it, and it strikes Ruin, who grows purple, and then they both start to break down, and the air kind of gobbles up the Ruin and traps him. And it falls to the ground, and then Adele picks up the bottle and goes, I guess he's in this? And on the bottle, like inside the bottle, you can have him Ruin right. Did you figure that out on your own, genius? He just kind of looks at it, just kind of upset. And then it cuts to Balthazar, who's laying on the grass still. And Rick kind of goes down and joins him. And Rick asks, why are you laying on the ground? And Balthazar goes, I'm still paralyzed from where you shocked me. And Rick stands back and was like, alright, I need to fix that. And Afanasi goes, I smell burned meat, the bacon. And Adele runs off to go get the bacon, and Afanasi looks pretty pleased. And then it cuts to the credits. For the credits, I'm just gonna have a family portrait and, you know, kind of stuff going on here. And then, that's the end. I know the thing was like, I know the pitch was like 30 minutes, but the episode itself is gonna be about 15. There's just a lot of explaining.